Not everybody wants to get married. That's a person doesn't want to get married doesn't make the person a bad person. It depends on what you love, what you want out of life. There are people who perhaps based on their experiences growing up, they decide that they will never get married. But one thing is that if marriage is part of your agenda, if you desire to get married, it is always better, especially as a woman, to start desiring it from an early age when you're in your 20s. Don't leave it until when you're in your 40s before you start desiring it. Because what you desire, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Whatever you desire, we live in an atmosphere of miracles. Once you desire it, you walk towards it. And now you are in your 20s, it gives you time to be able to pick and choose and therefore not make any decision to get married to the wrong person because you are thinking about your biological clock. You are thinking about, oh, all my mates are married and all of that. So you have reasonable time in your 20s to go through all the experiences of knowing, understanding who you are, knowing what you want, and then making the right choices so that at least by the time you start desiring marriage from the age of 25, before you are, and then you start dating intentionally. So you start dating intentionally. At least by the time you're 28, you should have been prayerfully, you should have been able to find the right person. My name is Kate Okoli. I'm a relationship expert. I've worked as a lawyer for over a period of 28 years. Today, I'm going to kind of do an exposition as to why it is important for people, especially women, who who want to get married, why it is important for them to start desiring marriage at a very young age, so that by the time they are 30, they've already met their life partners and they're already settled and they've already started raising their families of their own. This does not imply that it is compulsory or that there's anything wrong with a woman if she's not yet married or if she's 30 and she's not yet married. So this video is not intended to put pressure on any woman. You understand? Marriage is just like it's like let's say for example, like I see marriage as an achievement because obviously marriage actually complements you as part of your success, and again it helps you to live a fulfilled life if it is part of your agenda. So of course you can actually add it as part of your achievement in life, because not everybody successfully gets married and ends up being married before they obviously before the end of their life. So if you've been able to get married 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, of course, it's an achievement. So kudos to you. Now, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're trying to build this channel. And in this channel, we're going to be talking about whole lot of things. We're going to be talking about marriage, relationships with friends, relationship with family, extended family members, anything relationship. Those are the things we're going to be talking about on this channel. We're also going to delve into the UK immigration law because I practice as a solicitor here in the UK. We're going to delve into the UK immigration law. We're going to talk about family law, cases of divorce, financial settlement, why it is important for you not to divorce if you plan carefully and you date intentionally and meet the right person, giving you time rather than rushing, not rather than waiting until when you are 40 and then you just see any guy and you are not able to check and then you just say you just accept any proposal from just about anybody. I tell you, marriage can make and mar a person. You see a woman, she may have made all the right choices about her career, about her business, about everything she wants to achieve in life, and then boom, she meets a wrong person, marries that wrong person, and then her problem starts. And then you now see that smart, sweet woman now suddenly becomes a shadow of herself. So you see, that is why it is important. Always desire marriage from a young age. As a matter of fact, 25 is even too late. Start desiring it right from when you are in uni. Maybe you are 22, 23, go into courtship intentionally. Know that there are people in your environment when you are in school, your schoolmates, everybody's watching you. Be careful the way you talk. Be careful the way you relate with people, because you never know who is going to make that recommendation. Be careful the way you change partners, the way you go from one male friend to the other, and you think you are having fun, you go clubbing, you go drinking, you never know who may be watching, So it's always good for you to prepare yourself to desire that marriage, and then you are intentional in the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you relate to members of the opposite sex. Not every guy who comes and says, "Hello, I love you," must you jump into bed with. And it is also important that you honor your body, and you make sure that boundaries are set. You understand? You know what to do at each point in time, knowing that if a friend of yours has a boyfriend, you on no account will you have anything to do with such a guy. If he comes behind and now starts telling you that he's interested in you, so you know things about compassion, about loyalty, about how not to betray people, about how to honor yourself, about how you talk, how you sit, how you comport yourself, and all of that. You never know who will make that recommendation. People are watching and all of that. You don't go out in the street and you start fighting or you start shouting when you're on the buses or on the bus or public transport. You start shouting or binge drinking or things like that. You don't do that because you are conscious. You want to. It's like you want to sell yourself out to people to let them know that you are that responsible, well trained, a well mannered, God fearing woman. So start doing it at a very young age. From that age of 24, 25, you start cutting intentionally. You don't cut just about anybody. And when you are cutting, you begin to ask questions, begin to ask that man, what is it that you want? What are your future plans? How were you raised? Were you raised with both mom and dad? If no, why not? If you feel that your dad has abandoned you, have you forgiven him? So you begin to ask questions. It is important that, because if you start dating from that early age, and maybe after 6 months or 1 year, you find out that you and that man, you are not compatible. You are still very young. It gives you an opportunity to continue to date. And again, that is why you should keep your body. You should honor your body, because you don't want to go from one bed to the other, changing men up and down. Again, that gives you a bad reputation, because you never know who takes you one day to introduce you to his family member, and lo and behold, you open that door and you find out that, oh my God, maybe you've had something to do with the brother in the past or the cousin in the past. So you have to be conscious that at that stage is a critical stage for you as a young woman to sell yourself, to kind of brand yourself. You understand? Not that you're a commodity, but because you become strategic. You are not found in just about any place. You are not lousy. And then even if you are in uni, you have a roommate, you tidy up your room, because you don't know where that roommate is going to go and talk about you tomorrow to say, I have this friend, I really want you to be married to my brother, or things like that. So you see, so once you start early, even if the first relationship didn't work out, by the time you are 27, 28, and then you start kind of exploring life, you have graduated, you're now out, and obviously they're doing your own business, or you are working, and then that actually serves as a, if a relationship fails, don't be heartbroken. Learn one or two things from that relationship, and make yourself also available for future courtships. So you just learn, and then you are building yourself. Cut intentionally. Cut intentionally. Don't be lackadaisical in cutting people. Don't say, oh, well, what's my own? A lot of young women, they actually think that, okay, meeting a man invites you over to dinner. You just take all your friends and you go, and then you are eating and ordering things. That man may be a man who is looking for a woman to get married to. He may be watching your table manners, the way you talk. Years ago, I actually invited this young lady out for dinner and everything. me and my husband, and I was so shocked. Even the way she sat, she opened, spread her leg, and then the way she was eating, so I was so embarrassed. So I actually invited her over to the restroom, and I'm like, what's going on? She said, "Oh, auntie, what is it?" I said, "Even the way I noticed the way you sit, you spread your leg. As a lady, you have to cross your leg, carry yourself properly, because you never know who is watching. And even the way you eat, you don't need to make those sound and everything. People can find it. You can, see it as a put off and find it very irritable. And if a young man is interested in having something to do, he's just going to get put off." And then she said to me, "I didn't know all of this because I left home at a very young age. And then, so I wasn't raised by my parents, so nobody really taught me." Oh, thank you very much. And subsequently, I saw that she was teachable. So each time when she visits, she will sit down and say, "Oh, auntie, you see, I'm getting better now. That's why I like to be around you." She'll cross her leg, gracefully. I say, "Yes, that's my girl." So you have to be, because now you are in the market, in the single market, so you want to sell yourself. Now, listen, there is nothing wrong in desiring to get married. A lot of people, they'll say, "Oh, I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate. If the man comes, fine." Don't have that attitude. Desire it. When you desire it, now remember, you are 25, you are 24, so you have time. As you are desiring it, make a list of what the kind of qualities that you need in a man. No, you can. That particular man may not tick all the boxes, but the essential aspect of the things that you want, that you think that you are able to live the rest of your life with that man. That is why it is better to start early, so that if you don't find it in that particular man, you still have the opportunities to go out there to court. Don't be in a hurry to say yes. Don't, and when you are courting, don't get carried away by the word love. It's all infatuation. Look for the solid things that builds a relationship, because it is not love that keeps a relationship. It is wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Those are the things that keep a relationship. You understand? Read, as a young girl, read books on relationships. Go online, look for videos on relationship. Take your time, listen to videos on relationship, and learn one or two things. Read books. I don't know why in this modern day, this 21st century, people don't really like to study. Make a habit of studying. Get books on relationship, get books on marriage, prepare yourself. Marriage is the only thing I have seen around the whole world, even though it's the second most important decision apart from your salvation. It is the second, the most important, which can actually make or mar you. But unfortunately, it is the least in our agenda of the things that we take seriously. We just feel that once we meet a guy, he loves us and we love him, and then we'll live ever happily ever after. It doesn't work like that. There are so many things that you need to equip yourself with that will help you in order to succeed in marriage. And this is both for men and for women. You need to study to show yourself approved. Read books on marriage. Go visit families that you've seen that, okay, like they've been married for like 20 years, 15 years, 30 years. Learn one or two things from them. You understand? Study the word of God, the Bible. What does the Bible say about honor, about respecting your husband? What does and then if you're a man, what does the Bible say about loving your wife? You see, these are the things. A man goes through his family home, raised as a male child, knows nothing about marriage, no good mentors. Maybe perhaps his father, all he did was to watch his father and his uncles and all the men around him abusing women and exploiting women, taking undue advantage of women. And he graduates from school and they're asking him, "When are you bringing the woman home?" So our definition of who qualifies to marry is, once you have graduated, you are working or you have a business, you are now qualified. But this is the reason why so many, the rate of divorce is increasing. You understand? Because this man has no clue. He has no clue as to what to do, how to be a good husband, and how to be a responsible father, because nobody has taught him. All basically is just trial and error. It's like he just learns on the job. Then when if after 10 years, 15 years, or 18 years, he decides to just pick up his bag to walk off and just to abandon the wife and children because he doesn't even understand the implication of what he's doing. He doesn't understand actions and consequences because nobody has discussed any such thing with him. And in the same light, a man marries a woman who has had a child from a previous relationship. Nobody has ever taught that man about incest. He doesn't know nothing about incest. So he now begins to sleep with his wife and begins to sleep with the daughter under the pretense of saying she's at the end of the day, she's not my biological daughter. But he doesn't understand that incest, that because he has already started sleeping with the girls, with this child's mother, he's not supposed to have anything to do with the daughter. You understand? So a man is obviously when being raised, is told that he's a man. He's not supposed to cry. He's not supposed to express emotion. He's supposed to be a superman. And he grows up, gets married. Nobody has taught him anything. And then he never shows his vulnerable parts to either his wife or his children. He never shows affection to either his wife or his children. Never uh, hugs the children, never hugs the wife, never tells the wife that she looks beautiful, or that he loves her. Never understands even, the rhetorics about foreplay before, having any kind of intimacy with his wife because nobody has taught him. We just imagine that it is automatic because he's a man, he's married, he should know. But it doesn't work that way. Even sometimes I feel so sorry for men. I'm like, even for the men who have been married, who have been able to marry for a long time, they actually try because nobody actually taught them nothing. No, even up to that, nobody teaches men nothing. You see seminars being organized for women all over every time, women's seminars every time, here and there. But how many seminars, how many male mentors do we have? How many people are ready to teach men? How many people are able to model a good character of how a man should be a good husband and a good wife? That is why you see, even for those who are pastors and bishops and everything, you see them abusing their wives because nobody taught them about actions and accountability, how to be accountable. You understand? So now going back to the original topic, so desire marriage from a young age as a young woman. Desire marriage. There's nothing wrong in desiring marriage. There is nothing absolutely wrong, but don't look desperate. In desiring marriage, don't look desperate. Carry yourself properly. Be careful of your environment. Be intentional in courting. Don't be found just in about any male bed. Any man that just says to you, hello, hi, you jump into his bed. Don't be found on the bed of just about any man. Honor your body. Your body is a temple of the Most High God. Remember, if you have intimacy with a man, that will not dictate how serious he's going to be. As a matter of fact, if a man says that you respect yourself and you respect your body, he actually treats you the way you have portrayed yourself. You understand? Don't go and sleep with a community of men, maybe 5 friends, and you make sure that you are sleeping with the 5 of them. And when they sit down in their bar, they are talking about you and they are laughing and they are calling you an impartial or a woman of easy virtue. That's not the kind of story you want to be told about you in the community. Remember, people are watching. I was listening to a couple, I think KO family, on they are YouTubers, and I was listening to how a video on how they were telling the story, the lovely story about how they met each other. There was something the woman said that caught me, Mabel. She said, when she was in the village, she was helping this man's her now husband, a grandma, to that she was very domesticated and very hardworking. So the moment the man, spoke to the grandma about her, oh, he said, oh, that girl, no, we must call her, you will marry her. She's a good girl. You understand? So good seed Be intentional as a young girl. You never know who might make that recommendation. Don't be lousy. Don't be loud. Don't be sleeping with just about anybody. Set boundaries. Yeah, it's okay for a man to say, "Oh, hello, how are you? I love you." It's okay for a man to do the toasting, but it's up to you to say yes or no. And it is not compulsory that every man that comes your way, you must have a relationship with the man. Know what you want. Be confident. Don't be desperate, but also be intentional. And most importantly, be prayerful. Seek for guidance. Seek for the spirit of discernment. Tell God what you want. Tell him the kind of man you want. He's going to bring that man your way. I hope this has been helpful. I will see you in my next video. Thank you very much. God bless you. Please subscribe to my new YouTube channel. Let's try and build this channel together. We have a lot of resources, a lot of content I will be sharing with you that can be life-changing and life-transforming. Thank you very much. I love you. Bye.